My name is Frank Lickner, and I have a situation with my parents' estate. My parents have both passed, 3 kids, my older brother, myself, my younger sister. My older brother has now passed. The house was left to all 3 children equally. My brother worked with a lawyer about 20 years ago and had the house signed over to my sister so that he and I would not be responsible for taxes or expenses. So now my sister owns the house, and the house is in great disrepair, and I would like her to move out, but she refuses to move out, and I wanted to find out what my legal options were. We have the deed, we have the paperwork from the transfer of the house to my sister. By the way, she's disabled and on Social Security income, and she's in her mid-60s, and she can't take care of the house anymore. But anyway, I wanted to know if I die, what happens to the house? If she dies, what happens to the house? Because I would like it to go to all my children and the nieces and nephews, and my sister has no children. And I don't know what her intentions are, and I wanted to know legally where I stood. And I'm certainly not a lawyer, and trying to read legal paperwork is difficult, to say the least. I had looked at finding an attorney before, and I spoke to people, and they said, oh, you need this kind of an attorney, that kind of an attorney, real estate attorney. And so I went online and looked and just was overwhelmed with big offices, big advertisements, little advertisements. And I called I called an attorney, and he said, okay, I can help you, and sent him some paperwork, and he never got back to me. And I was frustrated. I just didn't know who I needed, or I needed somebody to tell me what to do. And I needed an attorney to tell me what to do, but I couldn't get an attorney because I didn't know how to do it. So I came across LegalMatch, and it was so simple. I typed in what my issue was and a couple of the other details, and literally within minutes, certainly within the hour or two, I had 3, 4, 5 different attorneys contacting me. And I was confident with those attorneys up front because I knew that I assumed that they read my little blurb on what my issue was, and they thought they could help me rather than me trying to call one after another and wondering who I'm getting. So I had several people to pick from. David McFarland, he got back to me very quickly on the phone. I'm sure within an hour, if I remember correctly. And some others did too, but some emailed me and some I had to email. But actually, I emailed him based on the email invitation to his office. And he got back to me immediately on the phone and explained he's a single practitioner in a small office, which I like. I don't like the bigger companies. I like to always go with the mom and pop kind of things. I don't know if he would appreciate being referred to as a mom and pop. But anyway, he was a single office, single lawyer, and requested additional paperwork. I faxed it over to him, scanned it, and sent it over to him. He reviewed it, called me back 5 or 10 minutes after 9 a.m. the next morning with his opinion. And it was just what I thought was going to take weeks of diligent research took less than 24 hours. His promptness, his directness, he's no nonsense. He's quite straightforward with his business, and he gets right to the point. And he understood the confusing paperwork, but he understood it all because that's his business. He's been practicing for many, many years. And he was clear, concise. And so what do I like best? He was responsive to my needs. It was so simple. I didn't have to think, really. I just click, told my story, and had people there to help me. It was simple. And what I initially thought was going to be a grueling, difficult, confusing process, I got attorneys in my area, some near, some further, but all of them I felt comfortable. And I did interview about 3 or 4 of them before I chose the one I chose. And they all were on the mark with what they could do. And well, one fella said that he wasn't in my area and he couldn't help me directly, but he would do what he could. So it was simple. It was idiot proof, I would say. Unless I have a nephew-in-law who is an attorney, so I wouldn't advise him. But anyone else, unless you have extensive connections or legal background, don't fret. Just go with people or go with a format that works. It worked beautifully. I'm amazingly surprised and pleased. It was just so simple. Like I also said, rather than days or weeks or more of researching, it was a matter of a couple of days. It took all the worry and work and frustration away. I know that may sound cliche, but it's a no-brainer. It just took all the hassle out of it. There was no hassle. It was very simple, and I was very pleased with the process. And if I need legal advice in any other aspect of my life in the future, thinking of having my wills reviewed, so I know exactly where to go. With LegalMatch, it's a no-brainer.